seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents The Real Kings of Pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Hello everyone, I'm thrilled to be here with you guys for another episode of The Real Kings of Pickup. And I'm here with my spiritual brother, a man like no other, Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Together we are going to provide you with answers that are so far superior to anything else you could hear anywhere else. You will see your game will never be the same. So, very excited. Brother, we're on pretty much every day. Countdown to the Global SLR. It's getting better by the minute. The lineup is constantly fine-tuned, refined, and so on. I'm curious, as you know, I'm going to ask you, how are you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm on another level, Vince. Fuck. You know, it's so weird. Okay, two things. At the end of the night, I like to do Netflix, you know, and I was just going through stuff, and I ended up on these documentaries 2 nights in a row. And one was on Tesla. Everybody knows what Tesla is. And another one was on yoga. And I saw these documentaries 2 nights in a row. So last night I finished with Tesla. And I swear I knew the moment I was watching the yoga one, I knew something shifted in me. I just didn't know what the fuck it was, but I did know that I woke up the next day back into a certain routine that I used to do. Then I finished Tesla's last night, and I was trying to go to bed, but I had these ideas, so I went back into some mind processes that I do. And today it's just been another world, my friend. Like, fuck. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. Like, I feel like I'm on drugs in a good way. That's where I'm at. So I'm really curious to see what kind of questions come up today, what kind of answers we give, because I've been living in a magical world for the last 10 hours or so. What's going on with you?
Well, you know, it's always that evolution, and I'm really stretching myself as part of the adventure of putting together the GSLR. And today I was reminded it's when there's that opportunity to really stretch and go beyond what I've done before, that a burst of power will come. So I'm very thrilled. The hours are extended, you know. I'm working around the clock. I don't think anyone realizes like the amount of work involved with the GSLR. And nevertheless, I'm very, very, very thrilled. I know we got our Vortex event coming up as well, and I'm going to be in San Francisco soon. So much is happening. Gentlemen, we are ready to take it to the next level. All we need are questions from you. The way you do it, you say your name, the city you're calling from, and how we can best help you a question, okay? And I'm going to mute the 914 person because they didn't mute themselves yet. So go for it, gentlemen. Who's going with the first question of the evening? That's a long pause, gentlemen. One of you guys want to step it up? There's a basic exercise that will really help you to be more social, which is to seize every opportunity to voice yourself. It's one of the first thing I did personally, way before there was Pick Up.
Hey guys, I got a question.
Great.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt from Raleigh. I want to know like your mindset on being the center of attention when you're out, anywhere you go. Like, what's your mindset on that to maximize your potential?
I'll go first.
Pass it to Arash.
I think this is the trap right there. This is the trap. Listen carefully, because if you get what I'm about to say, not only will this question be answered, a lot of your problems will go away. There is no mindset when it comes to being the center of attention. Being the center of attention is being the center of attention, meaning that around you, the attention is towards you. The question to ask is not what is my mindset in the center of attention. The question to ask is, how do I become the center of attention in a way that is positive, because you can become center of attention if you started fucking throwing up too. It doesn't matter what your mindset is. Don't worry about your mindset. The mindset doesn't make a difference. Be the center of attention. Like the guy says, what's your mindset when you kiss a girl? It doesn't matter. Kiss the girl. What's your mindset when you make money? I don't know. Go make the money first. And it's more important than your fucking mindset about it. You see, the question leads me to think that you're not the center of attention. Because when one is the center of attention, he's not asking the question, what's your mindset? It's not a mindset. It doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, everything is a state of mind. But you're looking at the wrong end of the road. You're going backwards. Like if you were going to your grandma's house and you suddenly turn around and walk the other way and wonder why you never got there, that's what you're doing when it comes to being the center of attention. You need to be the center of attention. That's a fact of getting hot women. Okay? Don't be the shy guy. Don't be the shy guy. It's stupid. Stupid. I was out I was out like last 3-4 days in a row actually, but one of these times I pulled these two women into our table, and there's a bunch of guys around, and there's three professional athletes on our table. And one of the guys is as quiet as shit. He's this giant, enormous black man who's super famous, and he's quiet as shit. And I'm running the whole fucking place. And suddenly one of these hoes says, I like him because he's quiet. I was like, ha ha, okay, that's fucking great. Are you kidding me, bitch? He looks creepy. Now, she said that, but she gave me her fucking number. And all he did the whole night was try to agree with her. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. And when the whole thing's over, he goes up to my friend and says, who's that guy, man? He just met me there. He's the fucking man. Yeah, I am the motherfucking man. Because I'm the center of fucking attention. It's not about what's your mindset. It's about become the center of attention in a positive way. That's my answer.
Now, mindsets is essential, but not in the specific matter, just as Arash stated it. In field, mindset might fluctuate depending on state. So I think what's even more essential is recipe. For those who are kind of new, there's a shift that you need to grant yourself to experience. It's nothing complicated. You need to realize that at a social level, you have not been encouraged growing up to allow yourself to generate attention. You've been told, be quiet and so on. Okay? It's funny. This afternoon, I was with a group of gentlemen for a spiritual matter that did not have any awareness of pickup. They were all powerful men in their respectful field. They were well achieved. And what was interesting, when it was their turn to speak, all of them went back to talking like little kids. So the number one challenge for the newbie is that, A, you need to become aware that it's not that you're not capable, it's that you bought into the wrong plan. So you need to, as an adult, revisit that and challenge it, question it. Because oftentimes, what most guys will do is to speak in a way that's safe. So the purpose of most people's speeches is safe. They will still voice themselves, but they're going to be a little bit monotone and not take a chance, because that's how they were able to survive through school and work when employed by someone or when going to school. There's always two things that could happen. You could be mocked by others, or you could be reprimanded by teachers or employers. So it became really obvious this afternoon. So guys, you got to realize you're not limited to just expressing yourself in mild, safe ways. I like the frame. I don't know what you guys think of that frame, because the frame reaffirms that it's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter of purpose. So watch, because for the majority of your life, most of you guys, unless you've been trained in some public speaking, but even then, you have voiced yourself based on safety. Hey, What's the perfect example of that? You guys made the time to call. You didn't just call to be on the fucking phone. You called because you want change. Now, why is it that it always takes a moment until one person will step up and ask one question? Why is it that some don't ask a question? It's because your communication is based on safety. And as an adult, you need to revisit that and change it. Then, in field, I like to have a recipe, personally. Part of the recipe is your hierarchy of whom you're going to honor. It doesn't mean you will dishonor others, but you got to honor yourself first. So that takes a little time to tweak, because oftentimes, you could easily think that the perception of you, of somebody else, from somebody else is more important, that they're more valuable than you, and so on. But as long as there's that bullshit, it's not easy to be the center of attention. So you got to make sure that you honor yourself. You take yourself out. You're there. You're your buddy, your own best friend, your own fucking wing, and your own admirer, your own supporter, your own leader, and you honor yourself. Then, so it doesn't become a selfish thing where you come across as being overly pretentious, but some pretense is a wonderful thing, all of that control and that obsession people have to say, like, okay, or, you're being too self-centered and so on. No, you're the center of your life. So if you're not honoring that, it'd be very difficult to impact others in a positive way. So after that, you need to be curious about the rest of the world, and you bring it back to the self, meaning you're enriching yourself by coming across people, and there's always a little distinction, something fun, something you're going to learn from other people, and then you're richer to pass it back to others, okay? But it's also the balance between what is your point of focus, because the moment the point of focus is on the outside, then it shifts. The greatest demonstration I had of that was AVN a couple years back, the Adult Film Convention. I was running Entourage game like never before, but not as good as after. That was prior of me meeting Arash. And suddenly Dave Navarro arrives with Rodney, I forgot his name, the basketball player with all the piercings. They have bodyguards and so on.
Dennis Rodman.
But in that moment, yeah, absolutely, Dennis Rodman, we destabilized them. I destabilized them because they were not supposed to look. They were supposed to arrive and do their thing. But when they arrived, they were doing their thing, and I was getting more attention than they were getting initially, and suddenly they turned and they looked, and then they gave me the classic. They came to us and they said, "Who the fuck are you?" Okay? So, long answer. Sorry, brother. We are ready for the next question, gentlemen. Now, this is your first opportunity to say, okay, fuck it. I'm here to voice myself. I'm no longer going to just be a spectator, hide, question my questions. Take a chance. And even if your question pisses us off, take a chance. Ask your question. Who's next?
I have a question. This is Philly Will. My question is that for a while I was going out getting drunk and to the point where I would get aggressive with girls, and that was sort of like my strategy. I was doing that on purpose. And in some cases it would work, like talking to a girl for a couple minutes, and I might like pull her hair a little bit, like in the back. And other times that wouldn't go over so well, but I sort of got yelled at for it once, and I haven't done that since. But I think I need to bring that aggressive part back in. So I'm wondering if either of you have any suggestions on how you can be aggressive in an acceptable way.
It's a fine line you have to walk. It's calibration. And, there's no way I can say it over the phone. Besides, it's a dance, and you have to pay very close attention to her. How do you tell someone how to be aggressive properly? The most aggressive thing I've done, probably in my opinion, that comes to my mind, where I shocked myself. I don't even know how the fuck I did it, man, and I got away with it. It was just in the moment. I was at the strip club in Los Angeles, and this super hot fucking stripper came up, and I'm just telling the story. It was just a great story you reminded me of. And I was talking to one of my students. He was there. It was him and I. And she walks up. I was sitting down. She walked right in front of me, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, I said, come here. And I did my little finger thing, like come close. I wanted to kiss her right away. And as she came closer to me, she suddenly, like she was about to kiss me, she suddenly pulled back and did this finger like no, no, no thing. Brother, I stood up in a second. I grabbed her by the throat, turned around, and shoved her to where I was sitting with her throat. So if you imagine, I'm sitting down with like my arms on the sides of the chair. She's between my legs. She pulls back. I suddenly grabbed her by the throat, turned around, and shoved her where I was sitting with her legs flying up and her neck in my hands. And then holding her neck, I put my face very close to her face. And I said, you don't seduce, I fucking seduce here. And then I let go. I ended up sleeping with that woman later on. But when I let go, I was like, whoa. And she got up, and she was fine. And then I turned to my student, and I said, we might get kicked out right now because I don't know where the fuck that came from. So that's an extreme. And then about 3 weeks ago, we were out, and we're a bunch of people, and, you know, we have all these girls around us and stuff. And this girl, we were so both drunk, and she was very close to my face, and she said something, and I kissed her on the cheek. And then she looked at me, and then I kissed her on the lips. And then she, like, slapped me, but not, like, super hard. Just slapped me lightly. And I looked at her, and I slapped her back. And when I slapped her back, I felt my heart just drop to my balls. Like, oh, shit, this is going to get really ugly now, right? And she held her face, and she looked at me, and she slapped me again. And then I fucking slapped her again a little bit harder. And then it was fine. Then I got her phone number. We never did anything. But, so, you know, you got to be ready, man. You know, I've been kicked out of places before a while back. I can't tell you how to do it, but I think those stories were fun to listen to. I'll pass it on.
Brother, I'm still laughing. So it's interesting. You say aggressive. First, there's the element of the thing with alcohol, okay? I personally don't drink, but I like to live and let live. I think that you first have to calibrate your intake. Why don't I drink? Because it won't take much for me to be really miscalibrated. And then I get in trouble. Now, there's people who will not get in trouble, and that's okay. So you got to check in with yourself and be honest. And there's a reason, you know. I'm not one who preaches anything, but it makes sense why they say don't drink and drive, because it affects your calibration. You know, I have hours and hours of videos in field of me, and some of them, I'm a little drunk. What's funny is that at the time I felt like, oh my God, I'm on fire tonight. And then I watch them, and it's an embarrassment. And I see how I'm miscalibrated, how I'm too close, how I'm too far. Now, that's one aspect of it, okay? There, I just like to open doors. And one thing I was sharing years ago, some of the NLP guy, neuro-linguistic programming, they wanted to see if you could recreate, really, because they were, you know, finding a recipe for pretty much everything, a state of drunkenness. And, you know, when I'm out and I start to do my thing where I go, oh, I'm the best known drunk there's ever seen, there's moments where I pause. And I've practiced that so much that I am indeed feeling inside as if I am and I'm not. It's quite amazing. So you can make headways there. Then, in terms of being aggressive, here's a better recipe. It's important in Aphrodite Sprints, for those of you guys who are on the call. So I was talking about dissecting words, because words, you know, they can mean so many things. So almost like you're peeling off certain layers. You got to remove what's not helpful and keep what's helpful. Here's a better recipe. I think that there's an element of speed, because when you're faster than girls, you're leading them and they will comply more, okay? So when you think, oh, this guy is aggressive, one ingredient that's a little more precise than that is he's fast, okay? So you got to train yourself with speed. One of my mentors trained me with speed by constantly quizzing me, be color. And if I be blue, it'd be wrong, color. Until I would just boom, be sharp. And every time he would ask me something different, okay? So there's that element of speed. There's an element of permission, okay? You got to stretch constantly your sense of what's acceptable or not, because it's hard for others to accept what you yourself you're not accepting because you're going to bring a little too much tension in it. So permission is key. And I love the word permission. And to use that in your themes when you talk to girl, permission. You know, I think it's all about permission. That's an amazing word, and it's also a very sexy word. If you say it's sexy, some words don't sound that sexy, but the word permission. Permission. And the third element is flow, ease. That's a tough one for guys because a lot of what brings you mastery is a paradox, okay? Because most guys, they start to go faster and they get more rigid. You got to flow. I always use that. I've used it for 2 decades, Bruce Lee, okay? Be like water. If you notice some of my craziest makeouts, I'm fast. I'm absolutely fine with it. And being fine with it is also being aware ahead of time of what her response could be. Okay? Being fine with it is not only, oh, I'm fine kissing a stranger. I'm fine getting half naked. It's got to be also, and I'm fine with whatever response people may have to that. I know I can handle it. But if you notice, there's even some of the pics, they look all jolted at first. And I do jolt them. And I grab them pretty strong with the hand. I always do that thing, hand behind the neck. And I pull in a little bit. But I pull also at the same time the lower back. So it doesn't jolt their neck. Yet my arms are flowing. Almost like playing the piano. Okay? So your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, very relaxed. And you bring the element of speed. The moment you bring tension, when there's masculinity and tension, it's good to reprimand, but to escalate, you want ease, no tension in your body. If you get all tense, then you're with a girl and she misbehaves and you go, that's it right now. And she knows you mean it. It's different. But when you want to escalate, you should be smooth. So it's more about speed, permission, and being able to flow rapidly. Next question.
All right, I got a question since nobody's asking. All right. How comfortable are you being naked in front of lots of people? Like, are you completely comfortable in your skin and just being naked?
I have to work on that, dude. I actually worked on it. Like, I remember just thinking that this cannot be part of my experience that I can't get naked. So I kept forcing myself to take off my fucking pants. You know what I mean? And I'm now
question
super comfortable. What's that? What?
I said, is that a weird question to ask you, or is that like a normal question?
No. I think it's great because it's part of it. I think it's key. That's why I had to fix it, because it was wrong that I was uncomfortable, and I knew I had to be comfortable. It was a weakness, and I fixed it. Another weakness was I think a lot of
you were actually uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was super uncomfortable.
Weren't you doing lots of BJJ? So you were pretty fit, weren't you?
Doesn't matter, dude. So I was fat. I was fit. I've been super fit. I've been super fat. Right now, they say I look good, but I look good in a shirt. If I take off my shirt, I don't look as good as I look in the shirt. I have a shirt body, soon to be a tank top body. Maybe one day shirt off body. There's levels, you know what I mean? Before it was a sweatshirt body. Now it's a t-shirt body. I'm moving up in range. But, it doesn't even matter, because you could be totally fit and still not feel good taking off your clothes, So I worked on it. I think you should work on it. But I want to tell you something, because this will help you. I think a lot of guys are uncomfortable getting hard-ons. I worked on that. If I get hard, I say, look at what you did. Grab the girl's hand and put it on my dick. Right? And I wear sweats a lot all the time. So I became so comfortable getting hard that it's now part of my game. I hope I get hard. You know what I mean? It's fucking cool. And the more comfortable you get, the better it is. So the way I approach this craft and the way I approach this art form is I look for areas in it that I'm uncomfortable in, and I make it my task to become extremely comfortable. So now I'm extremely comfortable being naked. Now I'm extremely comfortable getting hard in front of her. But before, I was super uncomfortable for whatever fucking reason. But I worked at it, just like everything else. I fucking worked at to where I'm at. That's my answer.
Personally, I was the guy that I would go shower at home after a gym lesson. I played hockey, and I hated being in the fucking showers and so on. Now I'm the guy that if I am with porn stars, I'm the first one naked. depending the context, of course, I'm not crazy, but I will walk around naked. I got no problem. I have gone to like nudist places. I've gone to sex parties where there's like 60,
awesome,
80, 100 people. I'm the first one naked. There's an awareness we'll have to have as men. Okay, I don't want to overly emphasize it because some could use it as an excuse. But I came across some very interesting information that they called it, there was, psychologists, how they are. But there's an imprint that when we're little kids, we go to urinals and we're very small, and a lot of programming takes place then. So they were saying for most adult grown men, they have a sense of being naked in their own dick that's completely false. It's an old imprint. Okay? So you got to know that your own imprint of you is probably off. Getting hard in front of people, that too, I had to work on it. I was at a sex party not too long ago, and I was fucking those two girls that were blowing me, and then the third one came in. And then some, like, pervs were, like, watching from the side, because it was, like, for single women, couples, and then they make their money by charging, like, humongous amount of money. And they kicked one guy out. But I noticed when he was radiating his weird fucking energy, then I was like, no, I need to go. I don't like this. Although the porn star I was with, it's funny because there was like, you were supposed to start to have sex in the rooms in the back. And she was saying like, nobody's having sex yet. 10 more minutes and I fucking go. And then I'm at the bar and she arrives and she pulled my pants down and there must have been 40 people and she started to blow me right there. So I wanted to inspire you guys, to show you how extreme you can go from being the guy that I would quickly leave at the gym and go shower home because I was really uncomfortable. And I didn't really have any reasons to be uncomfortable, okay? But at the same time, that's what I was feeling inside. To now being the guy that I would be more comfortable than female porn stars getting naked. Boom. Okay? So that's the work right there. But you got to pay your dues. You got to work at it. It's like a madman. Today and Aphrodite sprints, I gave them exercises. One of them was a little stretchy because they're working and so on, so they cannot do pickup all day long. But to use things you can do, little stretches. So I put the exercise myself into practice. And I went to this store where the other day they gave me very pricey samples, stealth SEM stuff. And not only they're not even supposed to give the samples, and because I was suggesting the guys to take a little extra step in asking for a little more wherever they would go, I was like, fuck it, you need to stretch. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. I was a little uncomfortable, but I got my samples second time around for the sake of practicing what I preach. So at all levels, there's always practice, practice, practice. Okay, gentlemen? I'm looking at the time. We have time for the recorded version for one more quick question. After that, what we're going to do, we're going to continue probably for 10 more minutes for the live callers to encourage you guys to call live because this way you can voice your questions. Okay? The good news is also the podcast is currently on YouTube. It's Kelvin and Arash Dibazar podcast. You Google that, it will show on YouTube, and it's also on iTunes as well as Podomatic. Okay? Meanwhile, quick announcement, there's a lot coming because we do sliding scale, meaning the sooner you grab your tickets, the sooner you're in. I'm not going to mention any price for the recording, but what's coming up is the Vortex Extreme Entourage game. It's a very unique event where Arash and I are doing a one day. It's a full day. We have here at my place, there's like a bar set up. So we're going to recreate mock situations to actually drill you guys to build that entourage, that being the center of the attention, both at the level of inner game, but also the mechanics. Stand there, you're too close, and we're going to create those mock situations. One will be a bartender, and so on. It'll be amazing. And then at night, we go to a location that we love where we can grab tables, and it's a 5-star hotel, and we're going to have a room over there. So, of course, everybody's in, and then we'll demonstrate and so on. Okay? It's a one day, so it's a little bit more within reach for those on a budget. And that's coming up May 13th. So act on it. Global SLR, the site and full lineup will be up by the time you hear this recording. Don't look for it now, but by the time you hear the recording, VIP is nearly sold out. And I'm going to be in San Francisco on the weekend of May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And Arash and I are going to do a presentation there. And he will be a guest at the event teaching. So in the meantime, one last question, and then you guys stay on the line. We'll answer one or two more questions. Who's next? And there better be a fucking question.
Can I just say one thing real fast? It's not a question, but I can't believe nobody's asking a fucking question. It's like Arash and Vince Kelvin are masters at the fucking game, and nobody's asking a question. It's crazy. Speak the fuck up, guys. Come on.
It's okay. It's all right, you know. Some might be listening while undertaking other activities, which is okay, too. It's not ideal. Appreciate and yet, again, remember, gentlemen, a lot of you guys, you have concerns in terms of end game, in terms of closing, escalation, managing multiple women, when should you say this, and so on. And you need the basics. The number one basic of all requirement, which I promise you, this is the first thing I did that helped me. I started to voice myself more often. Think about it. We're talking about how to be the center of the attention, okay? So you got to use every little step. If I'd be going somewhere, I would sit to the front, and it would say any questions, I would raise my hand. And I didn't do it necessarily only for the question itself. I did it for the drilling of that. Social art, social dynamics, delivery. So use that. This is for you guys.
I got a question.
Great. What is it?
This is Pat from Miami. The question is that, you know, for the most part, I want to throw away all these little rules or thoughts that probably don't mean much because it just seems like they don't, but let me throw this out there anyway. It's about a no ladder. So let's say that you're talking to a girl, you just meet her on the street, and she says, I'm going to meet family or friends, da-da-da-da-da-da. Do you ever think that maybe I shouldn't say something like, well, that's a shame because I was hoping we could go grab a coffee right now, or something like that? Like, do you ever not throw something out there because you don't want to start what someone told me years ago, a no ladder?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, please go for it, Arash.
Okay. There is some validity to that. Okay? So I assume you're not on Diamond Mine. Are you on Diamond Mine?
No, but I have been thinking about it.
Good. Keep thinking. See what that gets you. Because you're asking a question that gets addressed. Okay? And it's more to it than that. So let me just explain a little bit here. Yes, it is valid. Okay? And what part is valid? I don't want to get in a fucking disagreement with somebody if I'm influencing and seducing them. When I go out, dude, you know, I was out last night. When I go out, I know I'm going to fuck shit up. Like, I know I'm a fucking monster, and I'm going to tear the fuck off of everyone's fucking head. I'm going to make it happen. How do I know? There is nothing she can say or do. There's nothing she can say or do that'll create any level of resistance in me that I can't flow with and make it work my way. I mean, there's just nothing. When I'm in that mode, I'm in that fucking mode. That's how I know I'm going to have a good night. Like, that's it. I'm going to do it. So, in that sense, I don't want to be like, you know, oh, that's too bad because I was thinking, you know, I can go get a drink. Well, that's not that fucking exciting. She can go get a drink anywhere. Now, watch this. That's too bad. I had fucking Lil Wayne concert tickets. I know she's into Lil Wayne. And I had backstage. And, well, enjoy your cousins, but shit, I'm going to be having a good time at the concert. And look for the pictures. Now there's a sense of loss. It's not good enough to be nice to her. It's not good enough to just be like, oh, you know, I was going to take you out. Yeah, okay, why don't you take me out tomorrow? I'm going to go to my cousins now, and since you have nobody else to go out with, you'll take me out tomorrow. In fact, maybe I'll be at my cousins, and I'll get bored, and I'll hit you up, and you'll probably be still available. See, that's the underlying assumption. That's the presupposition. That's the thing that we assume is taking place by you saying that. So we don't want to say that. I wouldn't even do the Lil Wayne thing. So what do? I tell you, go through my phone, brother. You'll see. Okay? So I asked this chick. I'm giving this chick, right? So I'm like, hey, you have any time tomorrow for coffee or sushi or anything like that. Let's make some time to do something. And she goes, I'll be in San Francisco. I'm like, cool, enjoy yourself, have a good time. That's the end. Let it go. 2 days later, I'm out. I text her. I say, I'm at Santana Row, which is the place I'm over here. I'm at Santana Row. I don't say I, say we, by the way, guys. Don't say I, say we, okay? Say we're at Santana Row. If you'd like to join, you're welcome. Come by. She texts, laugh out loud. And I go, laugh out loud what? And she goes, I'm in bed. I said, good, get some fucking rest. You need it. I let it go. Now, every single time, oh, I'm fucking shitting on the toilet. Great. You don't want fucking constipation. Keep shitting all day. Why? Because you're not the only bitch I just texted. You're not my only fucking source of joy, right? We are out. So I'm not going to say, I thought you and I can go get some fucking coffee. If I'm going to do that, I'll do it like this. Look, I got a little bit of time tomorrow. We haven't seen each other for a while. If you can make an hour, I can make an hour. We could do something. We'll get some coffee. We'll get sushi, right? It's like that. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm going to be in San Francisco. Cool. No worries. Or we're going to be getting some fucking drinks tomorrow. We're going to be partying at a club tomorrow. We're going to be at a pool party tomorrow. We're going to be at the Roosevelt this weekend. If you'd like to join, let me know. Oh, I'm going to go to my cousin's house. Oh, cool. Maybe your cousin can join. If you guys get bored, just hit me up. There'll be a lot of people having a good time. Boom. Then she texts you. What are you doing? You go, I'll send you a picture. Don't send a picture. Wait. She texts. Don't answer her. She's done for the night. It's over. Learn to play the game. This is a game, everybody. It's a game. It's got strategies. It's like a chess game. Checkmate, bitch. That's how you want to play. You don't want to be playing like, oh, that's too bad. I was going to take you out. Oh, that's so sweet. Here, I'll tell you exactly what she'll say. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I would love to, but I haven't seen my cousin for a long time. Maybe another time. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Well, hit me up if you change your mind. Okay. All right. That's so sweet. Talk to you later. Have a good day, smiley face. I think she likes me. That's the end of my question.
Mm-hmm. Pat, so first, categories, okay? Be mindful of the following three areas. There's your approach, okay? And I don't mean approach, because I don't consider that what I do is approaching women, but how you approach the interaction, okay? So, right there, the key, I don't care, but I don't use the yes ladder or the no ladder, okay? At the same time, for the purpose of understanding, what's the fastest way to avoid a no ladder is to create a yes ladder. How do you create a yes ladder? Well, if you know, okay, if the girl is like, oh, I really can't, you start with that, so she will agree with you, okay? That's simple. If you go, well, she goes like, oh, I got to go see my family. You go, well, I understand you got to go see your family. So we probably not going to hang out tonight. Tonight presupposes some other time, okay? So the approach, if you don't know, you go, unless you're super spontaneous, but you probably already have plans, then I would say, okay? So make sure that, you stay in a yes ladder. A lot of my reverse game is based on that. It's just to, if you can, whenever you can tell that the girl, let's say, you see a girl, she's like running to yoga, she looks like she's late, and so on. Once in a while, a crazy type will ditch yoga, but those, I wouldn't count on them in the long term because they probably will ditch also a plan with you, but they're a minority. The majority, they're going to go to yoga, okay? So when you know, just start a yes ladder with saying, well, you better go to yoga. But let me ask you something real quick before you go. So start a yes ladder. That's your approach. Another thing is too many guys, they make requests that are too big. Okay? You first got to get a couple yeses before you make a bigger request, or you challenge. Oftentimes I make huge requests. I said, my darling, I use humor and challenge. So my darling, that's it. You're ditching all your friends and you're following me home for the greatest night of lovemaking ever. And because I'm saying it this way, she knows I'm joking around. And at the same time, I'll be like, no, this is too crazy. So I'm the one saying no. And then I say, but it will be fun. And it would take somebody really daring to do such thing. How daring are you, darling? So approach. The second area is personality. Okay? Personally, I have very low threshold for the personality that says no to everything. Maybe you're doing absolutely fine, but you just happen to be with a girl whose personality is just no. There, you make fun of her. The ninja move is to say, you like to say no, don't you? Okay, to flip around a girl who says no a lot, you say, you like to say no, don't you? And if she says yes, then you go, I got you to say yes. Or if she goes, no, I don't like to say no. Well, you just did it. Hello. Personality. And the third one is availability. Sometimes guys are so like into their own head, into their own thing, that they're unaware that, okay, she's not saying no to me. She's not saying no to doing this. She has a genuine time constraint. So that should help you. I want to voice one last thing, and then we're going to continue for 5-10 minutes, couple more questions, guys, but I have to end the recording of it. I've heard Arash say something yesterday. Brother, if you don't mind, I'm going to quote you about some students that have been studying with him for some time, that those students, none of the like, oh man, I've been studying with you. The time is now, okay? And I want you guys to understand that. That's the place we're coming from, because if as teachers we were to just rely on what we offered 1 year ago, even 3 months ago, even last week, okay, we would not be fair to ourselves, our growth, the art, and to whomever is ready to be helped. So what we do, we constantly top it. Now, we hear the question often, what's your mindset? Well, there's our mindset, okay? You got to have that mindset. And that's where we come from, okay? I've said it 100,000 times. Last year, I got a corporation that I used to coach in my corporate days that approached me, and they were ready to pay me like $10,000 for time efficiency stuff. They didn't mind the pink hair because one of the owners, a cosmetic company, had colored hair. I said, no, I'm sorry. That doesn't fucking juice me. I want to teach pickup, okay? So we're in it for the art, for the legacy, and you guys have to understand that. So, Pat, when I hear you, I know you've kicked ass with me, but you got to top it right now. I haven't seen you in a while. It's great you called on the Monday call, because I can tell my personal guideline for pickup in life is when I start to go into a question that needs more than a one-line explanation, that's when I know that there's only one answer. You need to hustle more, because you're micromanaging, because you're running out with what you currently have. You need to top it with either deeper understanding of what you already have, greater level of mastery, or a newer angle on it, or new information, new angles. And you hear us every Monday. Whenever I ask Arash, how you doing, brother? He says he's stopping it. And I know that he is. He is. If I speak to him in an hour, it's going to be a whole new level. So I want to urge you guys to adopt that mindset, because anything less than that, you're going to struggle, you're going to suffer, and that's certainly not what you want. What you want is pleasure, power, peace, or whatever. And I'm stopping the recording right now. Those who are listening on the recording, you have the number to call live. That's on the podcast. We hope to see you live.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.